Are you truly free, or are you merely a well-dressed prisoner? A slave to fleeting comfort, a puppet to external praise, a constant fugitive from the hard truths that could forge you into something formidable. Look around. Most lives are an unspoken tragedy, a symphony of wasted potential, an endless deferral of the very struggle that unlocks genuine power. You scroll, you compare, you chase validation, and then you stand bewildered, wondering why you feel hollow, why strength eludes you, why you're perpetually adrift in a sea of mediocrity. You are not broken. You are merely uninitiated. You have been seduced by the softness of modernity, lulled into a state of quiet submission. But there exists an ancient path, a brutal philosophy forged in the crucible of empires, a mindset sharpened by the greatest minds to ever walk this earth. Stoicism. This isn't some feel-good platitude or fluffy self-help guide. This is a weapon, a battle-hardened blueprint for dominating your inner world, regardless of the chaos raging outside. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor who governed an empire, taught us that the obstacle is the way. Seneca, a senator and playwright, showed us how to stare down fortune and misfortune with unwavering poise. Epictetus, a former slave, revealed the absolute freedom that lies within your own judgment. These aren't just names from history. They are your drill sergeants, your mentors in the relentless pursuit of an unconquerable spirit. Stoicism doesn't promise an easy life. It promises an unshakable life. It doesn't shield you from pain. It empowers you to transform pain into power. In this uncompromising journey, we will unearth 10 brutal Stoic laws. These aren't suggestions, they are commands. They are truths designed to strip away your illusions, shatter your comfortable weaknesses, and force you to ascend to a level of mental fortitude you never thought possible. This isn't background noise. This is your personal crucible. Every word is a challenge, every concept a hammer to reshape your very being. Prepare to be forged. Law 1. Seek out discomfort. It is your crucible. You recoil from anything that stings. You must actively pursue hardship as a form of training. Listen closely. Seneca, the master of resilience, taught us, "It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare. It is because we do not dare that they are difficult."
Today, intentionally choose one small physical discomfort and endure it without complaint or retreat. You crave the cushioned, the effortless, the path of least resistance. You've been programmed by a world that promises immediate gratification and constant ease. Every slight chill, every moment of hunger, every uncomfortable conversation is an enemy you flee from. You seek warmth, soft beds, abundant food, and effortless entertainment. But what kind of strength is forged in a perpetual state of comfort? What kind of character is built when you consistently opt for the easy way out? The answer is simple: none. You are becoming soft, pliable, utterly unprepared for the inevitable hammer blows of existence. Your aversion to discomfort is not a shield, it is a cage, trapping you in a perpetual state of fragility, making you brittle when life demands resilience. You are, in essence, training yourself for failure because life, in its rawest form, is an incessant series of challenges. The Stoic path demands a radical inversion of this modern weakness. It mandates that you transform discomfort from an enemy into a rigorous trainer, a sparring partner that exposes your mental flab and forces you to build spiritual muscle. You are not meant to be a delicate flower wilting at the slightest breeze. You are meant to be an oak rooted deeply, unyielding against the storm. This isn't about masochism, it's about preparation. It's about inoculating yourself against the arbitrary cruelties of fate by willingly embracing controlled doses of hardship. Think of it as preemptive strike against your own potential weakness.
When you voluntarily subject yourself to the things you naturally fear or avoid, you strip them of their power. You learn that the discomfort itself is rarely as devastating as your anticipation of it. You discover the immense reservoir of resilience you possess, a wellspring of strength that lies dormant beneath layers of unexamined fears and habitual avoidance. This practice builds not just physical tolerance, but a profound mental fortitude, a kind of internal armor that external circumstances cannot penetrate. It is the practice of becoming anti-fragile, growing stronger precisely because of stress, not despite it. Seneca, who understood the human condition with brutal clarity, laid bare the fundamental truth. Our perception of difficulty often precedes and creates the difficulty itself. We dread the cold shower more than the cold shower itself. We fear the difficult conversation more than the actual words spoken. We imagine the pain of effort, and that imagined pain paralyzes us, preventing us from even attempting the very things that would strengthen us. His words are not merely poetic, they are an urgent call to action, a stark revelation of the self-imposed limitations that keep you from your true potential. It's a challenge to pierce through the illusion of overwhelming difficulty and confront the actual experience, which, more often than not, proves far less daunting than the monstrous shadows cast by your own fear. This is the difference between an armchair philosopher and a true warrior of the mind. The warrior doesn't wait for things to become easy. They make themselves strong enough to conquer the hard. They don't shy away from the fire, they walk into it, knowing it will purify and temper their spirit. So here is your immediate command, a crucible of your own choosing. Do not delay, do not rationalize, do not negotiate with your weaker self. Seek out a small physical discomfort. It could be a prolonged cold shower that bites at your flesh, a challenging run that pushes your lungs to their limit, or a demanding workout where every muscle screams for surrender. Whatever you choose, engage with it fully. Feel the resistance, acknowledge the urge to quit, and then, with unwavering resolve, push through that mental barrier. Do not just endure, embrace it. Let the discomfort wash over you, knowing that with every second you persist, you are forging a will that will not bend, a spirit that will not break. This isn't just an exercise, it's a declaration of war against your own softness. This is how you train for life's inevitable battles. This is how you reclaim your power. Law 2. Cage your emotions. You are not their puppet. You allow every fleeting feeling to dictate your reality. You must observe and master your emotional landscape rather than be enslaved by it. Listen closely. Epictetus, the former slave who found ultimate freedom, warned us. Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems. The next time a powerful emotion threatens to overwhelm you, pause, name the feeling, and consciously decide not to act on its initial impulse for 5 minutes.
How often do you wake up feeling sharp, focused, ready to conquer, only to have your entire day derailed by a single rude comment, an unexpected traffic jam, or a frustrating email? Your mood shifts like the wind, your energy evaporates, and suddenly you are not the master of your day, but a helpless passenger tossed about by every external stimulus. You react, you lash out, you retreat, you wallow, all because an internal sensation, a chemical cocktail in your brain, has seized the controls. You call it being authentic, feeling your feelings. But the brutal truth is, if your internal state is constantly dictated by external events or unexamined impulses, you are not authentic. You are merely a puppet on strings, dancing to the tune of random chance and the whims of others. This is not freedom. This is emotional slavery.
And it is a prison more insidious than any iron bars, because you carry it within yourself. The Stoics understood that true strength lies not in the absence of emotion, but in the mastery of it. They didn't advocate for becoming a robot devoid of feeling. That's a misunderstanding of their profound wisdom. Instead, they taught a radical form of self-awareness, the ability to observe your emotions without immediately becoming them. To feel anger, yet choose not to act in anger. To feel fear, yet choose to move forward with courage. To feel sadness, yet refuse to drown in self-pity. This is the ultimate internal battleground, and your victory here is the most crucial one you will ever achieve. It's about creating a space, a sacred pause between the stimulus and your response. In that space lies your power, your dignity, your very humanity. Without it, you are merely a collection of knee-jerk reactions, predictable and vulnerable. Epictetus, whose life experience as a slave gave him an unparalleled insight into true freedom, distilled this principle with chilling precision. He understood that the thing itself rarely harms us as much as our interpretation or anticipation of it. The traffic jam is not the problem. Your fury at the traffic jam is. The critical comment is not the problem. Your wounded ego's reaction is. You are often suffering not from reality, but from the vivid, often exaggerated narratives you construct around reality within your own mind.
These imagined anxieties are the chains that bind you, far more restrictive than any external circumstance. He challenges you to see this, to rip away the veil of self-deception, and acknowledge that the torment often originates not from the world outside, but from the inner turmoil you permit to flourish. This realization is both humbling and incredibly empowering, for it reveals that the key to your peace lies entirely within your grasp. It means taking absolute, uncompromising responsibility for your inner state, refusing to outsource your tranquility to the caprices of fate or the actions of others. So, let this be your immediate challenge, a test of your emerging self-mastery. The next time a wave of intense emotion surges within you, be it rage, anxiety, despair, or overwhelming desire, do not immediately surrender to its current. Instead, pause, take a deep, deliberate breath. Name the emotion, silently or out loud. This is anger. This is fear. This is envy. Acknowledge its presence without judgment, but refuse its command. For a mere 5 minutes, commit to not acting on its initial impulse. Do not send that angry email. Do not lash out. Do not retreat into self-pity. Do not indulge that craving. Simply observe it, like a storm passing through the sky of your mind. You will discover that the emotion, though powerful, is not you. It is merely a transient visitor. And in that crucial pause, you will reclaim the reins of your own will. This is not about suppressing what you feel. It is about choosing how you respond. This is how you stop being a puppet and start being the master. Law 3. Expect no fairness. Life owes you nothing. You cling to the childish delusion that life should be just. You must embrace the stark reality that the universe operates without preference or prejudice. Listen closely. Seneca, in his Stoic wisdom, asserted, "What is the point of being dismayed by the loss of possessions which, when you acquired them, you were aware you could lose?" Today, identify one past unfair event and write down 3 lessons you learned from it, focusing purely on your growth and response, not the injustice itself. The modern mind is addicted to the concept of fairness. You believe that if you work hard, you deserve success. If you are kind, you deserve kindness in return. If you play by the rules, life should reward you. But look around you, truly look, and you will see the brutal, undeniable truth.
The universe does not care about your sense of justice. Good people suffer unspeakable tragedies. Vicious individuals ascend to power. Effort often goes unrewarded, while mediocrity finds sudden fortune. To cling to the expectation of fairness is to set yourself up for perpetual disappointment, bitterness, and crippling resentment. It is a fundamental weakness, a naive belief that transforms you from a resilient survivor into a whining victim, constantly asking, "Why me?" or "This isn't right." The Stoic path demands that you obliterate this fragile fantasy. You are to confront the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. Life is not a perfectly balanced scale. It is a wild, unpredictable force, indifferent to your personal desires or merits. To understand this, to integrate it into your very being, is not an act of cynicism. It is an act of profound liberation. When you stop expecting the world to treat you fairly, you stop being shocked and crippled when it doesn't. You cease to be a pawn of external circumstances and begin to forge an inner fortress, impregnable to the arbitrary blows of fate. This doesn't mean you become callous or stop striving for justice in the world. It means you understand that your personal peace and power cannot be contingent on the world playing by your rules. It means you operate from a position of strength, not from a position of entitlement. Seneca, ever the realist, cut straight to the core of this delusion. He understood that much of our suffering comes not from the loss itself, but from the unwillingness to accept the possibility of loss from the very beginning. To acquire anything, wealth, relationships, health, status, without acknowledging its impermanence is an act of self-deception. We lament betrayal as if loyalty was an eternal guarantee. We mourn financial ruin as if prosperity was an inalienable right. But every possession, every person, every moment is on loan from the universe, and it can be reclaimed at any time, without warning, without explanation, and without a shred of fairness. His words are a harsh lesson in preemptive acceptance. If you understand that everything can be lost, then when loss inevitably occurs, you are not crushed. You are merely witnessing the natural order of things, a process you have already mentally prepared for. This wisdom strips away the power of external events to control your inner state, making you a master of your own mental fortress. So, let this be your immediate task, a brutal excavation of past wounds. Think of an event in your life that you have vehemently labeled unfair, a betrayal, a missed opportunity, a loss that felt unjust. Instead of reliving the bitterness, force yourself to write down 3 concrete lessons you gained from that experience. Did it teach you about trust, about resilience, about setting boundaries? Did it force you to cultivate an inner resource you didn't know you possessed? Focus exclusively on your own response, your own growth, your own choices in the aftermath. Strip away the victim narrative. Refuse to indulge the fantasy that life should have been different. Understand that the unfairness itself was merely the raw material for your transformation. This is how you extract wisdom from hardship. This is how you transmute poison into power. This is how you stop being a bystander to your own fate and become an architect of your own strength. Law 4. Control only the controllable, release the rest. You waste precious energy battling unchangeable forces. You must fiercely guard your attention, directing it solely towards what lies within your sphere of influence. Listen closely. Epictetus, the voice of pure reason, declared, "Some things are in our control and others are not. Things in our control are opinion, pursuit, desire, aversion, and, in a word, whatever are our own actions. Things not in our control are body, property, reputation, command, and, in a word, whatever are not our own actions." For one problem currently causing you immense stress, list
everything you can control and everything you cannot. Commit to acting only on the former. Observe the modern human, a creature perpetually agitated, consumed by anxieties over things completely beyond their power to alter. They rage at the weather, curse political systems, fret over the opinions of strangers, obsess about future economic downturns, and despair over the past. This endless wrestling match with the uncontrollable is a draining, futile exercise. It siphons your energy, fragments your focus, and leaves you feeling impotent and resentful. You are like a sailor trying to command the winds rather than adjusting the sails. This fundamental misunderstanding of your own agency is a primary source of modern misery. You are squandering your most precious resource, your attention and your will, on battles that can never be won. The Stoic path is a radical call to inner discipline, a ruthless pruning of your mental garden. It demands that you draw a clear, unyielding line between what is truly up to you and what is not. This distinction, the bedrock of Stoic philosophy, is not merely an intellectual exercise. It is a blueprint for strategic living, a direct pathway to inner peace and unshakable effectiveness. Your thoughts, your judgments, your intentions, your actions, your reactions, these are your dominion. These are the levers of power that are always and unequivocally yours to command. Everything else, your body's health, your possessions, your reputation, the actions of others, the unfolding of external events, these are indifferent. They are not yours to control. To confuse these two spheres is to invite perpetual frustration and enslavement. When you fiercely protect your inner citadel, focusing all your efforts on what you can control, you become an unstoppable force. Epictetus, whose wisdom was born from the harsh realities of slavery, laid out this dichotomy with crystal clarity. His words are not vague philosophical musings. They are a direct, actionable map to freedom. He spells out the boundaries of your power. Your opinions, your goals, your desires, your aversions, these are yours. Your physical form, your possessions, your standing in society, your authority over others, these are not. This is not a suggestion. It is the fundamental law of self-mastery. To grasp this distinction is to unlock a profound shift in perspective. It means recognizing that the weather may be miserable, but your response to it, your choice to complain or to adapt, is entirely yours. It means understanding that others may betray you, but your integrity and your choice to forgive or move on are your own. It means accepting that you cannot dictate external outcomes, but you can always dictate the quality of your effort and your character. This is the ultimate reclamation of personal agency, a relentless commitment to operating within the sphere where your power is absolute.
So, here is your immediate command, a rigorous exercise in mental clarification. Take a single problem currently weighing heavily on your mind, consuming your thoughts, and draining your energy. Now, with brutal honesty, create two distinct lists. In the first column, write down every single aspect of this problem that is genuinely, unequivocally within your control. Your attitude, your effort, your choices, your preparation, your communication. In the second column, list everything that is completely outside your control. Other people's decisions, external circumstances, past events, future outcomes, public opinion. Stare at these lists. Now, make an unwavering commitment. From this moment forward, you will direct 100% of your energy and focus solely on the items in your control column. Let go of the rest. Release the futile struggle. This is not apathy. This is strategic power. This is how you stop being pulled in 1,000 directions and become grounded, focused, and truly effective. Law 5. Embrace voluntary hardship. Forge an unbreakable will. You are coddled by convenience, your will atrophying in comfort.
You must intentionally seek out challenges to temper your spirit and build inner fortitude. Listen closely. Seneca, ever the advocate for robust spirit, declared, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body." Today, choose a minor, deliberate act of self-deprivation. Skip a meal, take a cold shower, or sit in absolute silence without any distraction for 15 minutes. In an era saturated with comfort, where every desire can be instantly gratified, where inconvenience is seen as an affront, you are being robbed of your most vital internal resource, your willpower. You avoid hunger, you flee from boredom, you recoil from physical exertion, and you delegate discomfort to the farthest reaches of your life. But what happens to a muscle that is never used? It wastes away, becoming weak and incapable of bearing any load. The same is true for your will. By constantly seeking ease, by never testing your limits, you are systematically eroding your capacity for resilience. When true hardship inevitably strikes, as it always does, you find yourself brittle, panicking, utterly unprepared to face the storm. This constant pursuit of ease is not a path to happiness. It is a silent march towards internal fragility, making you dependent on external circumstances for your well-being. The Stoics did not wait for life to challenge them.
They proactively sought out hardship, not for suffering's sake, but for strengthening. This practice, known as ascesis, was their mental and spiritual gym. They understood that by willingly engaging with discomfort, by choosing to forego convenience, they were inoculating themselves against the far harsher blows of fate. This isn't about being cruel to yourself, it's about being profoundly wise. It's about building a robust, adaptable spirit that can thrive in any circumstance, not just the comfortable ones. By pushing past self-imposed limits, you discover that you are capable of far more than you imagined. You learn that many of the things you cannot live without are actually trivial, and that your true strength lies independent of them. This conscious engagement with difficulty is the only way to forge a will that will not bend, a character that will not break, a spirit that stands defiant in the face of adversity. Seneca, a man of immense wealth and influence, yet a devout Stoic, understood the seductive danger of comfort. He deliberately practiced living simply, sleeping on hard beds, eating meager meals, precisely to prove to himself that he could thrive even without luxury. His declaration that difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body is a cornerstone of this philosophy. It's a direct analogy that should resonate deeply with anyone who understands the principles of physical training. You don't build muscle by avoiding weights. You build it by lifting heavy things, by pushing past fatigue, by embracing the burn. In the same way, you don't build mental fortitude by avoiding challenges. You build it by confronting them, by choosing them, by enduring the internal struggle until your capacity expands. This quote is a profound endorsement of deliberate effort and the transformative power of struggle. It shatters the illusion that ease leads to strength and reveals that true growth, both physical and mental, is found only on the rugged terrain of difficulty. So, here is your immediate command, a deliberate act of warrior conditioning. Today, choose a single, minor act of voluntary hardship. This is not about grand gestures, it is about deliberate, conscious effort. It could be skipping a meal, embracing the pangs of hunger to remind yourself that you control your appetites, not the other way around. It could be taking a cold shower, forcing your body to adapt, your mind to overcome its natural aversion. It could be sitting in absolute silence, without your phone, without music, without any external stimulation, for a mere 15 minutes, confronting the discomfort of your own thoughts. Whatever you choose, do it with full intention. Do not rationalize. Do not make excuses. Do not seek comfort. Feel the resistance and then choose to overcome it. This is how you reclaim your power from the clutches of softness.
This is how you forge an unbreakable will, one small, deliberate act of hardship at a time. Law 6. Detach from outcomes. Fall in love with the process. You are a slave to results, crippled by the fear of failure. You must shift your allegiance from fleeting victories to the unwavering execution of virtuous action. Listen closely. Epictetus, master of personal power, commanded, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." For your most important current goal, identify the next 3 micro actions you need to take. Execute them with absolute presence and focus, regardless of the perceived outcome. You have been conditioned to chase results, the promotion, the perfect relationship, the viral success, the winning lottery ticket. Your self-worth, your happiness, your very identity are often tied to these external validations, these fleeting outcomes. This creates a brittle existence. When the desired outcome materializes, your joy is temporary, immediately replaced by the next craving. When it doesn't, you are crushed, demoralized, convinced of your own inadequacy. This result-driven mindset is a treacherous trap, a cycle of euphoria and despair that makes you profoundly vulnerable to forces entirely outside your control. You become addicted to external validation, always chasing the next high, always terrified of the next fall. This is not a path to enduring strength. It is a recipe for constant emotional volatility and perpetual dissatisfaction. The Stoic path offers a radical liberation from this enslavement to outcomes. It demands that you detach your sense of self, your peace, and your worth from external results, and instead anchor it firmly in the quality of your own effort, your own process, your own virtuous action. Why? Because the outcome is never guaranteed. The universe, in its indifference, may conspire against your best efforts. But your effort, your focus, your discipline, your integrity, these are always and unequivocally within your control.
When you fall in love with the process, you are always winning. Every deliberate step, every focused moment, every act of dedication becomes its own reward, independent of whether it leads to the specific external result you initially envisioned. This is where true freedom lies, in the unwavering commitment to doing what is right, what is within your power, with excellence and integrity, regardless of how the dice of fate may roll. Epictetus, whose life story is a testament to the power of inner freedom, provides the ultimate blueprint for this mindset. His command, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do," is a powerful call to align your identity with your actions, not your achievements. It means defining yourself not by the titles you hold or the accolades you receive, but by the character you embody and the unwavering consistency of your effort. You are not a successful entrepreneur if your business fails, but you are a diligent, persistent, and courageous entrepreneur if you poured your heart and soul into the process, learned from every setback, and acted with integrity regardless of the bottom line. This quote liberates you from the tyranny of external judgment and anchors your worth in the unassailable fortress of your own internal discipline. It shifts the focus from external validation to internal verification, making you truly autonomous and resilient. So, let this be your immediate command, a profound recalibration of your ambition. Identify your most important goal right now, the one that consumes your thoughts and often sparks anxiety about its eventual success or failure. Now, with fierce intent, shift your focus entirely from the ultimate outcome. Instead, identify the next 3 smallest, most concrete, actionable steps you need to take in its pursuit. These are the micro actions that constitute your process. Now, commit to executing only these 3 steps with absolute presence, full focus, and unwavering effort. Do not think about the grand vision, the potential applause, or the looming possibility of failure. Simply immerse yourself in the craft, the execution, the act of doing. Find joy in the diligent effort itself.
Whether these actions lead to immediate success or apparent setback, you have already won, because you honored your commitment, you sharpened your focus, and you strengthened your discipline.
This is how you build a life of consistent, unshakable power, where every moment of effort is a victory in itself. Law 7. Embrace death. Live with ferocious urgency. You live as if your time is infinite, postponing your true life. You must meditate on your mortality, transforming it into a relentless fuel for purposeful action. Listen closely. Seneca, ever mindful of time's swift current, declared, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man." Identify one important conversation, task, or dream you've been procrastinating. Commit to initiating or completing it within the next 24 hours. Most people exist in a state of self-imposed slumber, operating under the dangerous delusion of endless tomorrows. You scroll endlessly, chase meaningless distractions, tolerate toxic relationships, delay your dreams, and postpone your true life, always believing there will be plenty of time. But this is the most destructive lie you can tell yourself. Time is not infinite. It is finite, precious, and utterly unpredictable. Every wasted hour, every deferred aspiration, every unsaid word is a moment lost forever, a piece of your unlived life slipping through your fingers. To ignore your mortality is not to conquer fear. It is to surrender to a more insidious form of oblivion, to live a half-life, a shadow existence, while the clock relentlessly ticks towards its inevitable end. The Stoic practice of Memento Mori, remember you will die, is not a morbid indulgence. It is a profound, life-affirming tool. It is a stark reminder, a brutal splash of cold water to the face, designed to awaken you from your complacent stupor. When you truly internalize the brevity and uncertainty of life, procrastination becomes an impossible luxury. Petty grievances fade, meaningless distractions lose their grip. The urgent priorities of your true purpose rise to the forefront. Death, rather than being a terrifying end, becomes a powerful catalyst, an unwavering compass that guides your actions with ferocious urgency and crystalline clarity. It forces you to ask, if this were my last day, my last hour, what would truly matter? What would I regret not having done, said, or been? This contemplation does not breed anxiety. It breeds gratitude, focus, and a relentless drive to live fully, authentically, and purposefully now. Seneca, who faced his own death with remarkable composure, understood that the fear of death itself is often more paralyzing than death's reality. His powerful declaration, "He who fears death will never do anything worthy of a living man," is not a condemnation, but an urgent call to arms. It means that if you are constantly consumed by the terror of non-existence, you will spend your precious, finite time cowering, avoiding risks, clinging to comfort, and thus failing to truly live. You will shrink from challenges, postpone bold actions, and compromise your values, all in a futile attempt to extend a life that, ironically, you are not even fully experiencing. This quote serves as a powerful reminder that courage in the face of death is not merely about a valiant end. It is about a vibrant, meaningful, and courageous life. It implores you to transcend the primal fear, to recognize it as a limiting force, and to channel that awareness into fierce, present moment action that honors the gift of your fleeting existence. So, here is your immediate command, a crucible to ignite your purpose. Think of one significant conversation you've been avoiding, one crucial task you've been postponing, or one deeply held dream you've relegated to some vague someday. This is not about building an empire overnight. It's about breaking the chains of procrastination.
Now, with the stark reality of your finite time burning in your mind, commit to initiating or completing that specific item within the next 24 hours. Do not allow your weaker self to negotiate. Do not invent excuses. Make the call, send the email, take the first step, put in the focused work. Let the awareness of your own mortality be the unyielding force that propels you forward, that strips away all hesitation and forces you to live with the kind of decisive action that a truly conscious human being demands of themselves. This is how you stop merely existing and start truly living. This is how you transform the fear of death into the power of life. Law 8. Be a warrior for virtue, not for applause. You chase external validation, letting the crowd dictate your worth. You must anchor your actions in unyielding moral principle, regardless of public opinion. Listen closely. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of integrity, declared, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it."
In a situation today where you might be tempted to seek external praise, consciously choose to act purely based on your integrity and what you know is right. Look at the modern landscape. Most souls are not driven by an inner compass, but by the shifting winds of popular opinion. They crave likes, chase viral moments, tailor their identities to what the crowd applauds, and avoid anything that might draw criticism or unpopularity. This is a path of profound weakness, an act of outsourcing your very essence to the fickle judgment of strangers. When your worth is derived from external validation, you become a slave to others' perceptions, perpetually anxious, easily manipulated, and utterly devoid of genuine inner stability. Your character, rather than being a bedrock, becomes a chameleon, changing colors to fit the prevailing sentiment. This is not leadership, it is servitude. This is not strength, it is spiritual prostitution, selling your integrity for fleeting attention. The Stoic path demands a radical act of self-sovereignty, to root your actions, your words, and your very being in unshakable virtue. Not for external reward, not for social credit, not for applause, but because it is the only path that honors your rational nature and builds an impregnable inner fortress. Virtue, for the Stoics, was the sole good, encompassing wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. To act virtuously means to act in alignment with reason and your highest principles, even when it is difficult, unpopular, or unrecognized. This is the ultimate declaration of independence, a refusal to let the chaos of the external world dictate your internal moral compass. When you choose virtue, you are choosing to be a warrior of your own soul, building a character that no one can steal, no misfortune can diminish, and no criticism can shatter. Marcus Aurelius, who wielded ultimate power and yet lived with profound humility, offers a concise yet devastatingly powerful maxim for this unwavering commitment to virtue. His words, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it," cut through all layers of rationalization and self-deception. This is not a suggestion, it is a categorical imperative, an absolute law for how a Stoic lives. It demands uncompromising integrity, both in action and in speech. It means that before you act or speak, you must subject your impulse to the rigorous scrutiny of truth and righteousness. If it fails this test, then it simply does not deserve your energy or your voice. This quote strips away the excuses for compromise, for white lies, for morally ambiguous choices made to please others or gain advantage. It forces you to align every fiber of your being with your highest principles, making your actions a direct reflection of your character, and thus forging an unshakable identity that is independent of any external judgment. So, here is your immediate command, a brutal test of your burgeoning integrity. Today, as you navigate your interactions and decisions, consciously identify a situation where you might be tempted to seek external validation, to speak a half-truth to impress, to compromise a principle for easy acceptance, or to avoid an uncomfortable truth for fear of criticism. In that moment, pause. Recall the unwavering clarity of Marcus Aurelius, and then, with an iron will, choose to act purely based on what you know to be right and true, regardless of potential praise, criticism, or even lack of recognition. Do not seek the easy applause, seek only the quiet, undeniable affirmation of your own conscience. This is how you stop being a performative puppet and start embodying genuine, unshakable character. This is how you become a warrior for virtue, forging a soul that cannot be bought or sold. Law 9. Embrace Amor Fati. Love your fate, every unyielding inch of it. You rage against circumstances, trapped in the delusion of what should be. You must actively choose to love and transform every event into fuel for your growth. Listen closely. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, advised, "Accept the things to which fate binds you, and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." Today, consciously choose to find meaning and purpose in a recent perceived setback or unwanted event, rather than lamenting it. You spend an inordinate amount of your mental energy fighting reality. You curse the past, you resent the present, and you fear the future, all because events refuse to conform to your narrow expectations of how things should unfold. You spend an inordinate amount of your mental energy fighting reality. You curse the past, you resent the present, and you fear the future, all because events refuse to conform to your narrow expectations of how things should unfold.
You fall victim to the insidious lie that if only circumstances were different, if only you hadn't lost that opportunity, if only that person hadn't left, if only the world were more predictable, then you would be happy, strong, and at peace. This constant war against what is a brutal, self-defeating battle. It drains your vitality, fuels your bitterness, and blinds you to the opportunities for growth embedded within every challenge. You are, in essence, demanding that the universe cater to your preferences. And in doing so, you relinquish all power to external forces, becoming a perpetual victim of circumstance. The Stoic concept of Amor Fati, love of fate, is perhaps the most radical and most liberating of all its tenets. It is not passive resignation. It is an active, fierce embrace of everything that happens, not just the good, but the difficult, the painful, the seemingly unjust. It is a declaration that you will not only accept your fate, but you will love it, for it is the raw material from which your character is forged. Every obstacle, every setback, every loss becomes an integral part of your unique story, a necessary component of your evolution. By actively loving what fate delivers, you transform external events from sources of suffering into opportunities for self-mastery. You cease to be a pawn and become an alchemist, transmuting the lead of misfortune into the gold of wisdom and resilience. This profound acceptance grants you an unshakable inner peace, because nothing that happens can truly defeat you. It can only contribute to your becoming. Marcus Aurelius, a man who faced plagues, wars, and betrayals, yet still found a way to govern with wisdom and inner tranquility, perfectly encapsulated the spirit of Amor Fati. His counsel to accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart, is a profound blueprint for living a fully integrated life. It is an exhortation to lean into reality, to not merely tolerate, but to actively embrace every twist and turn of your personal narrative.
It means understanding that the people in your life, the challenges you face, the opportunities that arise or vanish, these are not random occurrences, but the very fabric of your existence, uniquely designed to test and refine you.
To love your fate with all your heart is to refuse to play the victim, to reject the notion that you are somehow cursed or unfairly treated. Instead, it is a powerful affirmation that everything that happens for you, serving a higher purpose in the grand design of your character's formation. It's a call to find beauty and purpose in the seemingly chaotic tapestry of life, to move from mere acceptance to active appreciation, thus making you impervious to external suffering. So, here is your immediate command, a rigorous exercise in alchemical transformation. Think of a recent event in your life that you have labeled a setback, a failure, or simply something that went wrong. An unexpected job loss, a relationship ending, a project falling apart, a health scare. Instead of dwelling in resentment or regret, force yourself to consciously choose to find meaning and purpose within that very event. Ask yourself, what lesson did this teach me? What strength did it force me to discover? What new path did it indirectly open? How can I use this experience, this very piece of my fate, to become stronger, wiser, more compassionate? Do not merely intellectualize this, truly lean into the emotion of it, and then deliberately pivot to an attitude of active acceptance and even gratitude for the role it plays in your journey. This is how you stop being a victim of circumstance and start becoming an unstoppable force of nature, in love with every facet of your unfolding destiny. Law 10. Premeditate misfortune. Forge your armor before the battle. You live in a fragile bubble, caught off guard by life's inevitable blows. You must mentally rehearse worst-case scenarios, preparing your mind for unshakable resilience. Listen closely. Seneca, the master strategist of the mind, warned, "What is bad in any event is not its happening, but its occurring to you unawares." Each morning, spend 5 minutes mentally rehearsing how you would calmly and rationally respond to one major challenge you currently face or foresee. You float through life with a naive optimism, avoiding any thought of potential disaster. You believe that by ignoring the possibility of loss, illness, betrayal, or failure, you somehow insulate yourself from its impact. This is not wisdom, it is intellectual cowardice. It creates a fragile mental state, leaving you utterly vulnerable to the inevitable shocks and disruptions of existence. When misfortune strikes, as it always does, you are not merely hurt, you are shattered, paralyzed by the unexpectedness, spiraling into panic because your mind has had no prior training in how to cope. You are, in essence, entering a battle without armor, a storm without a sturdy vessel, guaranteeing your defeat the moment the first blow lands. The Stoic practice of Premeditatio Malorum, premeditation of evils, is a brutal yet profoundly empowering mental discipline. It is the practice of consciously visualizing potential misfortunes, rehearsing in your mind how you would calmly and rationally respond if the worst were to happen. This is not about inviting negativity or dwelling on despair. It is about inoculation. By confronting potential adversities in the safe confines of your mind, you strip them of their power to shock and disarm you when they manifest in reality. You build a mental resilience, a strategic readiness that transforms unexpected blows into anticipated challenges. This preparation does not make you fearful, it makes you fearless. It arms you with an inner certainty that you can handle whatever life throws at you because you have already walked through that fire in your mind. This is how you build an internal fortress that no external calamity can breach. Seneca, ever the pragmatic philosopher, understood that much of our suffering comes not from the event itself, but from the unpreparedness, the shock, the feeling of being ambushed. His chilling warning, "What is bad in any event is not its happening, but its occurring to you unawares,"
reveals the insidious power of the unexpected. The actual loss of a job is difficult, but the shock of it, the feeling of being blindsided, often amplifies the suffering tenfold. The illness is a challenge, but the suddenness of it, the feeling of vulnerability, can induce panic. This quote is a direct challenge to your complacency, urging you to pull back the veil of naive optimism and confront the full spectrum of reality. It's a call to become a strategic thinker about your own life, to anticipate the storms, not to fear them, but to equip yourself with the mental tools to navigate them with composure and strength. It transforms you from a passive recipient of fate into an active, prepared warrior, ready for any contingency.
So, here is your immediate command, a brutal training session for your mind. Each morning, for just 5 minutes, engage in the practice of Premeditatio Malorum. Think of one major challenge or potential misfortune you currently face or foresee in your life. A difficult conversation, a project failing, a financial setback, a health concern, a relationship strain. Now, visualize it with as much detail as you can. See it happening. Feel the initial discomfort. And then, consciously, mentally, rehearse how you would respond with Stoic principles. How would you remain calm? How would you focus on what's within your control? What rational actions would you take? What virtues would you embody? Do not just imagine the bad. Imagine your resilient, powerful response to the bad. This is not about attracting disaster. It is about building an unshakable armor, a mind that is always ready, always capable, always in control, no matter what external chaos unfolds. This is how you make yourself truly invincible. Final call to action. If you have absorbed these brutal truths, if you have felt the hammer striking the forge of your spirit, then something profound is stirring within you. You are not destined for quiet defeat. You are called to mastery. You are called to become unshakable, to transcend the noise, the weakness, the emotional chaos that grips the masses. This isn't perfection. It's raw, unyielding power. Not dominance over others, but absolute sovereignty over yourself. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, they did not offer platitudes for easy times. They offered weapons for war. They forged a path to dignity amidst betrayal, clarity amidst confusion, and serenity amidst suffering. They taught us that true strength isn't in fleeting external triumphs, but in the iron will of the soul that stands resolute, honors its word, faces fear without flinching, and chooses virtue when the world demands compromise. You don't need motivation, you need discipline. You don't need permission, you need decisive action. Your time is not limitless. It is a precious, finite resource that demands to be seized now. Train your mind, expect struggle, detach from outcomes, anchor yourself in principle, live like your final breath is already drawing near, because it is. And here's the most liberating truth. You don't need applause. You don't need validation. You don't need anyone to understand your path. Because when you walk this stoic road, you become unshakable from within. That kind of strength, it's rare, it's real, and it is yours for the taking. Now, if you are truly ready to claim it, if this message has ignited a fire within your soul, then prove it. Let your voice be heard. Drop this affirmation in the comments below. I am forged. I am unbreakable. Do not keep this power to yourself. Share this video with someone who needs this brutal truth. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. We are building a legion of thinkers, doers, and relentless warriors who demand more than noise, who crave purpose, who refuse to settle for anything less than their highest self. Remember, every challenge is training. Every moment is transformation. Keep showing up. Keep choosing strength. and don't stop until you become truly, utterly unstoppable.